Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Sarah, and today I'm going to be giving some updates on some projects that I've been working on, some new, I believe people call them notions, that I have, and then some future projects that I'm planning on working on in the coming weeks. So I want to start by thanking you for your support on my 2021 temperature blanket video. It's at almost 1,500 views now, which just blows my mind. I wasn't really expecting that, and I think it's what brought a lot of you here. So if you're new here, I'm really happy to have you here, and I hope that you stick around for more videos. And if you're new, welcome, and I hope that you stick around as well. So I want to start with some current projects that I've been working on, starting with my beloved 2021 temperature blanket. So I have it attached to Off-White right now. If you want a detailed outline of my plans for this project, you can check out my 2021 temperature blanket video if you haven't seen that, and I'll also link my Ravelry project page down below. So this is what I have so far, and I mentioned in my previous video, my weekend vlog video, that I have a nice mix of colors right now, and looking at the weather in the coming days, I think that I'm going to have more off-white than soft blue, which is surprising. Also today, it was very chilly. It was 31 degrees this morning, so I'm crossing my fingers that sunshine might actually make it into the blanket. That would be very exciting if it did make it into the blanket, but for now, it's just soft blue and off-white, and I'm loving how it's looking right now. So I won't go into the specifics since I've already done that. So if you're interested in seeing that, make sure to check out my previous video where I give an update on my temperature blanket. But yes, if you're wondering what stitch this is, it's the moss stitch. And there's a hair. But yeah, that's what I have so far. I'm so happy with how it's looking. I did weave in my ends. Thank you very much. I'm very proud of myself. So that is my temperature blanket right now, and it is 201 stitches. So it's a big blanket. It's going to be a very big blanket. The next project that I have is actually very exciting. It's a knitting project. So I have moved back into knitting. I won't be abandoning crochet, not at all. I still love crocheting, but I did mention that I wanted to get back into knitting, and I did that, and it's been interesting. There are some things that I've forgotten about. For example, ripping back stitches is very scary. It's just been taking me a little bit to get back into the rhythm of knitting. I started knitting this project English style, and then it felt so awkward to me. My cousin mentioned learning how to knit continental style, and then when I watched a video and I tried it, I realized that not only did it feel more natural because I'm used to holding the yarn in my left hand anyway for crochet, but I actually learned how to knit continental style first. So I started knitting, or learned to knit, when I was about 10 years old probably. My mom taught me, and I forgot that I learned to knit continental style. So once I switched to continental style, it felt much more natural to do it that way, and it's been much easier to complete the project, knitting continental style. So the project I've been working on is the Garter Rib Scarf by Destiny Meyer from Nifty Knittings. It's a free pattern that I found on Yarnspirations. Well, actually I found it on Pinterest, but it's from Yarnspirations website, and this is what it's looking like right now. So I started it about 2 weeks ago now, and this is my progress. I think right now it's measuring probably about 60 inches, I think. Yeah, I think 60 inches right now. The total length will be 82 inches, so I'm almost there. Very exciting. It's supposed to be knit in the same color. However, I was using yarn that was left over from a blanket that I worked on in the summer. and it's Karen 1 pound yarn. And if you've ever ordered Karen 1 pound yarn, or really any kind of big skein of yarn that's more than the usual amount, it's kind of hard to store. I was trying to find projects to use up that yarn, and this one seemed like a great one since it's a scarf. Um, so I didn't have enough of the white yarn to complete the scarf in all white, so I've been using the sunflower color as well that I had left over from the blanket. I also have a huge skein of the gray color of Karen 1 pound, so I'm just trying to find projects that use up this yarn. And I actually really like how it looks with the two colors. I think it's going to look really nice in the end, and just kind of more unique than your average scarf maybe. At the corners of the two ends, so both ends, will have tassels, and I'm going to put yellow tassels on this side and white tassels on this side. That way it kind of brings it all together in the end. But yeah, it's been a really fun project. It's really simple, so if you're looking for a simple scarf that you want to complete, if you're kind of a beginner knitter like I am, this is a great project to practice knit and purl stitches. It's once you get the hang of the pattern, it's really easy to just keep on knitting. It is a very simple pattern. It is rolling a little bit, so for the first time in my life, I'm going to block a project. I think that blocking it might reduce the roll a little bit. It's still going to roll. I mean, in the photos for the project, the scarf is rolling, so I think it's just kind of the stitch that they're using, or the pattern that they're using. So I'm not too worried about it rolling, and I think that the heavy tassels at the end will just help it hang a little bit better when someone's wearing it. So that is my knitting project that I've been working on for the past little while now. Oh yeah, I didn't mention this. So if you're wondering what needle size I'm using for this scarf, I don't actually know. I apologize. The size is not listed on the needles, and I got these probably in one of those, starter knitting kits, and I don't know what size needles these are. I apologize. Also, the stoppers at the ends are not made for this size needle, and they're actually different sizes, so that's kind of fun. But yes, these are probably more than a decade old for sure. Yeah, they're very old, and there's no way of knowing unless I had one of those sizing charts, which I don't have, so I apologize. The recommended size needles for this yarn are 5mm needles, just so you know. The two other current projects I have going on are two blankets that I've been working on. They're both Daisy Farm Crafts patterns, and they're free on their website, or you can purchase the PDF version on their in their shop. I don't know if it's Ravelry or Etsy, but I'll link it down below, just so you can see what the final pattern will look like. I gave an update in my first project's update video, and unfortunately I haven't made much progress. I did work on them a little bit, but not enough to really show a difference. So if you want to see those two projects, check out my previous projects update video. You can see how they look and the colors I chose. I go into all the details in that video. But I haven't made much progress. I've been working on this scarf the most, and then my temperature blanket as well. Okay, so I want to talk briefly about a future project that I'm planning on working on, and I'm very excited for it. It might be a little bit ambitious for the stage that I'm at with my knitting, but I've been really wanting to make a pair of socks, and I found a pattern. It's by Woolen Vine Yarns. I'll link the pattern down below. It's a free pattern that you can get from her shop, and she also has a YouTube channel, which is how I found this to begin with. And she has a very detailed video on how to complete this pattern, which is so helpful for me because I learn best from seeing someone do it. Since I'm just getting back into knitting, I thought that that was a great pattern to use to create my first pair of socks, and it's her favorite socks pattern. That's literally what it's called, and I think it is her favorite socks pattern, so fitting name. I'm just completing my swatch right now, so I don't have much to show. This is all I have, and I'm just swatching in the round, and yeah, it's been interesting. This is my first time using circular needles. So these are US 1.5 or 2.5 millimeter needles. I just got them like 2 weeks ago, and I've been practicing using them, and then I'm practicing again using the swatch. The yarn that I'm using is a fingering weight yarn from Spectacular Yarns. It's the ash blue colorway, and I'll of course link that down below, and I'll also link the project page that I have going on. As you might have noticed, I have a beautiful yarn cake right here. So my cousin was very nice, and she sent me a ball winder and a yarn swift, and it's been so exciting to use that. I've made 2 yarn cakes. So here's the second one. It was so much fun to use it, and I kind of felt like, if you've seen The Office, I felt like Nate when he was when Dwight is in charge of the building and Nate is turning 2-ply toilet paper into 1-ply toilet paper. I'll insert an image here so you can see what I'm talking about, but that's kind of what I felt like while using it, which was kind of hilarious. I love The Office. If you love The Office, we're already friends. So you can either use DPNs or the magic loop method. I'm using the magic loop method just because DPNs look really scary, so I don't really feel like diving into that realm of knitting yet, so I'm just using the magic loop method. I mentioned in my weekend vlog that I've been teaching my best friend how to crochet. We're completing an ear warmer together, so that is something that I will have completed in the near future, and I will share in an upcoming video. We're just keeping it super simple because she's completely new to it, and I'm excited to see how hers turns out. I want to briefly talk about some new things that I've gotten in the mail recently. I mentioned that I received a ball winder and yarn swift from my very nice cousin. I'll link her YouTube channel down below and her yarn shop as well. But I received a ball winder and yarn swift, and I was able to make those 2 yarn cakes, so that was really exciting, and it just makes me want to purchase more yarn so that I can use it and create more fun yarn cakes, because why not? So if anything, it has not helped my obsession with yarn and buying more yarn. She was also very kind and sent me some circular needles because she knows that I'm getting into knitting again, and she wasn't going to use these, so she offered them to me, and of course I accepted. So I have more circular knitting needles now. The first set of circular needles that I have are 16-inch US 4 3.5 millimeter needles, and this is what they look like. I don't know which brand they are, I apologize. And I forgot to mention, but these, what are these? These US 1.5, 2.5 millimeter needles, these are from, I believe it's pronounced Chaogu? Maybe? Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. But these are 32-inch, I forgot to mention that, 32-inch US 1.5, 2.5 millimeter circular needles. And I'm not sure which brand these are, but these are 16 inches long. And then the next 3 are Knitter's Pride needles. So there are 2 sets of 5 millimeter or US 8 circular needles. So one is 16 inches and then the other one is 32 inches. So that'll be great for a future project. And then the last set are US 7 4.5 millimeter needles, and these are 24 inches long. They're all fixed, which is fine. I'm not really willing to invest in an expensive set of interchangeable needles just yet, and my cousin was nice enough to send me these. So I am looking forward to using these in future projects. Those those are all of the projects I have to show you and discuss for now. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it and give it a thumbs up. If you want to follow along on my knitting and crocheting journey and just crafting in general, I do have some plans for other kinds of crafts this year. So if you want to follow along, make sure that you subscribe so that you catch my future videos. And I think that's it. So I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.